Hi everyone, I'm Mohammad Hossein Gohari-Nejad from Simplus team, and I am an AI and robotic researcher at Cognitive Robotics Lab at Amir Kabir University of Technology. And today we're gonna talk about how to code in Simplus. So before we start actually coding, I wanna make sure that you all have visited this Simplus website and we have followed the instruction on how to install and run the Simplus on Windows. As you can see, we are using Windows right now. If you are using a different operating system, that's totally fine. You can find instructions for macOS and Ubuntu as well. Now, today we're gonna mostly talk about the APIs in Python, and then if we have enough time, we're gonna also talk about the C++ API. So there are some tutorial files which will be provided to you, and I'm gonna follow based on the tutorial files. And this section right here, these files are all Python API files, and if we have time we can also check these C++ files. Today we're gonna talk about mostly about the navigation. Next day we're gonna talk about the vision systems, and finally on the third day we're gonna talk about planning. Now, in each folder there are several files, step 1 to 5, and as we move on from step 1 to the final step, the codes become progressively more complicated and more complex, and they are capable of fulfilling more complicated tasks. Before we talk about this, what's happening inside these codes, let's take a look at this page here, this Python API. And in the Python API, we have this play function, which is where you're gonna put your code in. You're gonna implement all your algorithms here. You're gonna receive this observation data, which is one of the input parameters for this function, from the simulator. This will be automatically filled by the simulator. And in observation you have this camera data, you have this position data, color data, and distances. I'm going to talk about them here. We're going to talk about position, color, and distances, as well as this linear, angular, and LED. Actions on camera will be left for the vision and planning sections. And also we have this command attribute, this command argument. This is an output argument. This is where you're going to put your data in. This is something you're going to fill out. Alright, so you're going to receive this observation from the server, and then you're going to fill out this command. Now the robot is going to, in the simulator, the robot is going to move based on these values you're going to put in command. You have the linear velocity, the angular velocity, and you also have the LED color. We're going to get to them on the robot very soon. We have this color array here, which holds the data for the color sensors. We have the distance array, holds the data for the proximity sensors. We have the position and the camera. These two also hold they are quite self-explanatory. Now, coming to the robot, you can see we have a variety of sensors here. We have 3 color sensors directly beneath the robot. One of them is facing forward. Actually sees the front section of the robot. And there are 2 other sensors, one on the left, one on the right. They check the respective sides. And we have 8 proximity sensors going clockwise from the left. We have the 0 up to 7, and each one of them have they can detect an obstacle as well as its distance from the robot. And we have the thermal camera, we have the normal camera, we have the gyroscope, which gives us the position, and we also have this LED ring, which is something you can turn on, turn off. You can change its color based on this LED here. Now, how do we read the data for these sensors? There are several examples here, very simple examples. Make sure you're gonna take a look at them and see what's happening. The only thing I should tell you is that if you check this detected attribute and it's equal to 1, that means that the proximity sensor is detecting something. Now, if you read this .distance, then it gives you the distance from that obstacle, the detected obstacle, to the proximity sensor. For the commands, the linear and the angular, a positive linear velocity means moving forward. A negative one is obviously backward movement. And for angular, a positive value means turning to the left. And a negative value means turning to the right. So here it's negative 0.5 means that the robot is going to turn to the right. For the color sensors, we have 3 channels for each color sensor, the red, green, and blue channels, which is obviously the color sensor is an RGB sensor, so we have 3 channels for all these RGB channels, and this is how you can read them. And as you can see, this color array, the first element is for the center color sensor, the next one is for the left color sensor, and then the last one is for the right color sensor. You can also read the robot position, and we have the actions, which we're not going to touch today. And this is how we can change the LED, the color of the LED, or turn it off by setting it to an empty string. Now let's go inside some coding. So if you're on Windows, if you're on macOS or Ubuntu, don't worry. What we're going to do here is only for Windows, but don't worry if you're on a different platform, on a different operating system, just follow this installation and introduction, and you're going to be good. It's quite self-explanatory. You can easily read them and learn how you can run this simulator on different operating systems. So now on Windows, I'm going to just run this simplus.bat, and this is our panel. And right now we're going to use Python code. Next we're going to go for C++, but for Python code you don't just forget about this compile. That's for C. Right now we're going to just go for Python. So I'm going to just choose a file to run, and on this sample code, tutorials, navigation, these are the tutorial codes that you have to download. I'm going to just move a very simple one. I'm just going to choose the step 1, and then after running it and showing how it's moving the robot, we're going to see the code and see what's happening. We're going to open it up, we're going to upload it, and let me just clear this and upload the file. Now we're going to open the simulator, and okay. So takes a bit of time to run. Okay. So right now this is our game arena, and our game arena is basically the sample world. We have these tiles with different colors. We have the robot. You can see these pink colors, these pink lines here, and this represents a proximity sensor reading. So we have these pink colors, these pink lines, and it's because the proximity sensors have detected obstacles. Now, as you can see, right here on this side we have pink colors. This sensor is detecting this obstacle. On the opposite side, right here, it's not detecting anything. It's detecting nothing. There is no obstacle, so there is no color. That's how the proximity sensors are represented in the simulator. Now, looking at this, okay, so the robot is a little bit moving. Let me just pause it. Okay, that's better. So it just moved a little bit, it just rotated a little bit, and then it started detecting this one. Now I can, okay, that's better. Now, as you can see, the robot is on a red tile, so we have for this left, forward, and right color sensors. They all have very high readings for the red channel. And if we were to move the robot on Okay. Let me pause it. Okay. So now, as you can see, if I run it. Okay. Now, as you can see, the robot, the color sensors all have a very low reading because on a black tile, all the channels have very low readings, like next to zero, almost to zero, or very low values. Now, if I move the robot a little bit, you can see that because we are on a white tile, well, it's not a tile because we are on a white area, we are having a very high reading for all the channels. On a white area, we have R and G and B all very high, almost equal to 255. So now let's go and run some code. Let me just move the robot. I'll put it right here. Okay. So now now the code has been uploaded. I'm gonna run the client, and the instruction on how to use this panel is right here. Right here. You can see we have to first run the client, and then we have to run server. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna run client, we're gonna wait a little bit, and then we're gonna run server, and I think, yeah, it should, no, it's running, yeah, the robot is moving now. So as you can see, the color is set to green, the color of the LEDs. Robot moves a little bit. It comes close to the obstacle, detects the obstacle, it starts rotating, and it tries to find its way out. Now, as you can see, the robot is stuck. It's just shuffling around. It's because the code is very naive. The code is not very smart, but we're gonna check the code and see why this problem is happening, and then progressively, once we go from the first steps to the final steps, we come up with a code that's much more robust. So the robot finally managed to get out of the well, it unstuck itself. Now it's gonna keep moving again, and that's how it goes. So let's pause for here, right, for now, and let's talk about the code.